Okay, guys, how we doing today? We're here. It's Thursday, the 18th. So Nasdaq was the overwhelming winner today in the polling. But I'm going to try. So we're doing this new format where I'm going to take the top choice here. But it looks like there were quite a few others that were close here. So, let me see. So we were going to do. You guys pick one. I pick one. Let me see what the others look like. So, but let's just start here with the Nasdaq here. I'll do at least one other. Maybe it'll be one of the ones that you guys pick. I'm kind of getting a late start here. I was planning to do the S&P on a short-term basis just because it's been incredibly technical. Very, very good day trading today. But I'll just look through there and see what works best for you guys. But right now here, let's look at the Nasdaq. So to get a handle on the Nasdaq here, as we now are just breaking into new all-time highs. I think you got to go to the weekly, right? So, I mean, it's just incredible, just absolutely incredible. I mean, what does that look like to you, right? Any crypto traders see anything familiar there? So just incredible. Just this move here looks like when Bitcoin went from about 8,000 to 20,000, very very similar. But the broader point here, I think, when you have this kind of a parabolic move, you got to step out to the long term and say, all right, clear the chart. Let's simplify, if we can. Where are we? Right? Well, we just put in new highs. Now that doesn't guarantee that we're going up to. Oh, we've got an algo target up here. We've got some targets up here. I don't know that I'd be betting against it. Although there are some warning signs here in the internals in the market that are worth paying attention to. But right now we have a Fed fueled. Accommodative monetary policy ensuring that this is going to stay strong until it doesn't. So at the moment, right, I don't know that I'd be looking to be shorting up here, although you could probably do it with a relatively low amount of risk. But you're basically shorting just on the idea that we're going to have a double top. We do have some divergence, right? It's not quite as strong here. You can see it in the RSI. But I don't know that that's the right trade here right now. But anyway, I digress here. Let's get down to it. So here, I'm all the way back to my low here in, what was that, 022, right? So we're the 02 low where we start this impulse on a weekly basis. So I think right, so I mean, there's a couple of questionable spots. Where are we calling the two? I think this is easier when we have this kind of move to go into log scale. Just shows you the separation a little bit better. So from this low, I think we have to go 1-2 given where we are up here. So note here what happens now. So I've got median lines on it here when we're just in regular. I go into log scale. Look how we just tapped the upper parallel here. Somewhat interesting, right? You always want to look for market geometry if you can, and you can kind of see how this upper parallel, this upper channel, right? So if we divide the median lines in half, right, we get two channels. How this has just contained the market so beautifully. Now we're just bumping into that upper edge. So with that established, and you got that, I'll take it off here. I would leave it on my chart, but I'd take it off here for the video just so you guys can get a better look here. I think we have to go 1-2 right now. So the idea being, it's not. Well, let me take it out of log here so you can get a better feel for it. So if I just do the typical kind of things we do, whether looking at a weekly or a daily or a 1 minute. Well, we've got a proposed wave 1. There's our wave 2. Well, here's 2618. We know we've got an extreme, so we're well beyond the typical wave relationships that you might anticipate. That looks like that's 4, 5, 6, 1, 8. It's up there. So we've got quite an extension in the third here on the assumption that this is correctly identified, and this is a 1, 2, 3. I think it'd be hard to call it anything else. I think the bigger question is whether are we completely done with the correction here. You probably make a case here that there's potential if we start to get top heavy here that this could go into more complexity. But that remains to be seen. Right now, we've just ticked into new all-time highs with divergence. So if this is 4, we could be in the process of just putting in the 1 wave of the 5, which would imply substantially higher prices. So if this is going to play out this way, come here. We're going to get something along these lines. And again, I don't know where the top is here, but if we had something like this and we're going 3, 4, 5, then we got, that's 10,000 for the NQ. Right? It wouldn't be, just looking at the wave relationship, that wouldn't be unusual. Symmetry would certainly be just perfect. Okay, so 1, 2. All right, so where are we calling the 1 within this subdivision here? This is so clearly to me the high probability zone for our fourth, based on the price action there, the sideways movement. I think this is pretty reasonable. So if I take this as the start of the 1, I'm using this pivot here as the 1, then we're coming to the 2. Now, so here's your high probability zone. Here's 200%. It's, you're not right to the tick here, right? So, but given this price action here that's so typical of a 4, I think we get an expanded flat here. So A, B, little kicker for the B beyond that pivot, come down for the 4 here. I think that is our most probable count for the internals of the third here. Actually, was that any help here? Well, you can see there's a bit of divergence here. So as we're going up for the 3 relative to the 1, you can kind of see it just fading here as we get, and then ultimately get down to 0 right as we put in the 4. You see that down there? I know it's hard to see. Let me pull this off here. So where are we now? Well, just trying to simplify. Okay, we got a 1, we got a 2, we got a proposed 3. How do we look here at the 4? Right? Are we in the? Let's get that right on there. Well, so note Vegas wave, right into the lips of the Vegas wave. So between the 23 and the 38, we're just where we're looking for a 4. So at the moment, that's what's difficult here, right? The question is, what's happening up here? Well, we got to go from the weekly down to the daily here to get a better sense of this. Now I'm out of log scale, and we're going to look here. Now we had a few swings at this. And some uncertainty as to where we were in the count. But right now, I think we have to trade this as a WXY. I think this fits better as an ABC into a W. There's the X, and then this, of course, plays better as an ABC. We got a 1, 2, but the 3, 4, and 5, a little skinny down there. But if you, of course, I'm on a daily. We go down to an hourly. You can dig it out. So it's relatively technical. So from my pivot low here, if I'm using the W here, the ABC, the proposed C here being the W of then X going right between the 50 and the 618, blows through, gets second target. So I think this is a reasonable spot for us to have put that 4 on it, and it looks to me like we're just in the process now. So I'm gonna take this one off. We're just in the 1. So there's just, again, I'm not being overly technical here. It looks like we're sort of in the process of finishing out what appears to be. It would appear to be that we're putting in the 5th, not of the larger degree, but just the 5th of what may very well end up being the 1 of the 5. So that's extremely bullish. So if we're going to top over here, which, no signs of any dramatic divergence. We got a little bit of divergence here between this pivot here, the peak of the oscillator. You can see here a little bit of divergence here to maybe lean into, but I certainly wouldn't be looking to be aggressively selling here. That's me personally here, right? But that's probably not an unreasonable, right? If you wanted to just take a run at it with a tight stop, that's not crazy. Go down. Let's go down to the hourly, see how that looks. So this subdivision, it's tough, right? So if this is your, let's see, come back here. So if we're going to go 1, 2, 3, I'm going to line these up a little bit better. Well, are we done? Well, let's do a little measuring here. So this already is a little dicey, right? It was exactly the same in the S&P. If that's 1, 2, well, here's your high probability zone for your third. Now there is a case that we could maybe put this over here, and we're a little shy, but I don't like the subdivision as well here. At least here I get an ABC. Yeah, I recognize that and it could be here. It could be that we've got a little expanded flat here, that we've gone A, B, because that plays better as the C down here. So could be. Hard to call it, right? So how, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where's the 5? It's tricky in here. like the subdivision is not super clear. So if this is we're in the subdivision here, if that's the 2 to the pivot of the 3, well, here's the algo target. So you can see, of course, obviously, right? We're gonna have algos all throughout here. First target, second target, third target, fourth target. It's a little bit of a guesstimate as to where the best place for you, right? So it could be here, certainly. So where the best subdivision fits here. So we can definitely get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So is that 1, 2? God, it's tough to call it here. So where are we starting? Is that 1, 2? Yeah, you can get it. 3, 4, 5. Where do we go with the 5? This never fails to annoy the fuck out of me. God, I wish they would change that. Okay, hang on. All right, let's get that down a degree. Let's go over to white. Sorry, that is just so aggravating for anyone who does this all day long like I do. So here we go. So here this is, all right, so here's a bit of a tell. Likely this is could be here, right? So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's just very, very tricky in here to get a clear count. So what I'll do is I want to look for where the retracements, and you kind of go backwards. Can I make it fit? If this is 2, well, where's the next retracement I get that's of any significance? There's this one followed by this one, but that sure looks like I can go, like I can do it this way. So internally, it looks like there may be this play here. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like a diagonal in the 5th, what am I finishing there? It's a tough call. So this is the deeper retracement. So you kind of want to go 1, 2, but then it doesn't quite fit. I don't know that it absolutely matters. Here right now, purists are going to go berserk on that, right? So I hear you guys. I get it. So from where we are now, what do we have here? So this is it technical? First question, is it technical? Okay, so there it is, right? So front run on the 50, they've got that target. They're to and through. Do we look like we're top heavy here, right? So yeah, again, you can see it more clearly down here. So we are certainly getting a pattern of divergence here. So we're losing steam here. Again, it's not something that I'm dying to short, but I'm kind of watching for more clarity here. So because this looks like, if this is 3, 4, it looks like I've gone 1, 2, given the fact that we approach a 50 here. So it doesn't look like it's done. Wherever the 3 is here, if this is the 3 and that ABC accommodates it best, I think, then within this degree, we've just done a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, all right, we're not far enough. So if this is 1, 2, well, we're looking for the 3 way up here. All right, so all of this is implying higher prices, right? Per the Elliott count. That's putting the 5 up here relative if this is 1, 2. So what's the alternate? What else could that be given the depth of that and given the length of this relative to this? It certainly looks like something within, let's see if I can do it. Where do I find that one? Yeah, this. Okay, so from right here, this looks like I've got a completed impulse right in here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're completing something here. Okay, now it's essentially just a straight shot here. So I think rather than think we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So would that work? So so just for example, and if this were 1. Say again, I'm just trying to work backwards. Could this be 1, 2, 3? Well, it doesn't. Of course, it doesn't look like it'd be long enough, and the 3 would be shorter. So you kind of have to come back here to this pivot. I still like this as the 1. So could we have to the next degree? Maybe this is. Let's go up a degree. All right, so acknowledging, guys, that. That I do this on the fly here because I don't have a strong opinion as to where we are. So I'm kind of working through it with you guys. So if that's 1, 2, so here I get a little. You can see here I get a little impulse right here. So I can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got something there. So could this be working from this pivot? So this, I'm just showing you exactly how I do it. So this is something here. Okay, so that completes something at some degree. So I've got a 1. Do I get it? Yeah, so let's pull this over here. It looks like I can go ABC into that 2. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do this way here. So I can get an ABC into that, and then I can go 1, 2. This is a clear impulse. So that it's actually making it more complicated. So you got to kind of work backwards. So this, maybe I have to do it this way. So here's potentially a 1. Let's go down here. There's a 2. I'm going to take that up a degree. This is clearly something. All right, so let's push these off, see if we can figure this out. Okay, so here, if that's a 1, 2 off of this 2, let's take this up. Okay, if that's 1, 2, I'm still looking for the 3. Now, I'm so far beyond norms here. I'm working through the subdivision is proving to be a real bear, which I'm assuming is why you guys wanted to look at this. So already I'm a little, I don't love this, but we can't go, oh, shit. 3, 4, yeah, got to be the 1, 2. Okay, so this ABC here completes something. So within the confines of this next move here, so we've got to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. This is a 4 of some degree, and there's a 5 up here. So I'm screwing myself up here. So let me get that into something I can spot. Okay, so we'll go into yellow. So if this is 1, 1, 2, I've got another impulse in here, right? So note we don't overlap. So there's another 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonal in the 5. So if this is 1, 2, then I can get a 3 here, and I can get a 4 here. Okay, let's move this off. So do you see it? So there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like this would have to be my 5 of that degree. So what have I completed there? All right, so this would have to be, this is why you want to keep the degrees separated in different colors. So you can see the impulses in there. So I'm not gonna highlight that. So what do we do with this? Is it 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Well, again, so look, trying to use the tools here. So if this is 1 and this is 2, first thing, where's 100%? So I couldn't be here, so yeah, so there's the 618, but the subdivision doesn't work. So it looks like, you know, this part here is the bitch. So you've got to go very shallow 2. So 1, 2, 3, gotta be. So I'm going to get that degree off. So we're going to go to 3, 4. So this completes. Okay, so 1, 2. So this, I don't like the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't love it, but I don't know what else to do with this. Unless, yeah, see, this isn't long enough to be the 3. Is that long enough? There's no other place for it because you can't just ignore a completed impulse here, which I have right there. So 1, 2, I could probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, but that's not likely to be the 3 relative to this 1, 2, right? So here's the higher probability zone. It's the subdivision in here. It's really just a bear to get a clean count in there. So let's go with this and see if it plays. So if that would put us at the 3 here, 4's gone in of this degree. So on this I'm going 1. I don't like it at the moment. 3, 4. Going up for the 5. So that is contained within here. So the immediate pause is the shallowness of the 2 relative to this. So I don't even think we make the 23. Let's just have a peek at it. Now we do make the 23. It's very unusual for a 2 to beat, but like shit, we're just in a straight rip. So I think if we tried to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, I think we're complicating. So I think we have to stick with the 1, 2 here. 1, 2. There's the big impulse. What do you do with this? Right, this is your problem spot right here. So if that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me take this off. If that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is up here somewhere. Could be here. Could be we're done. It could be, right? We just hit an algo target off of this 50, so that wouldn't be crazy. So that's what we're looking at. the 2 is a problem. I don't love it, but I don't see another clear. All right. So members, fire up a count if you've got one that you like. Be curious if we do post this on YouTube. All right, I'm sure I'll get 12 different counts here. A lot of different ways to count this, right? So this is what's making this difficult. So from that, if that's 3, 4, and we're in at 5, we have completed the 3 here relative to this 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, right? So the divergence kind of supports that. So we have 1, 2, 3. So at this point, we're looking for some sort of retracement between this 2 and if we have a top up here, which I don't know that we do. But we have some of the ingredients here, right? We've done a double top here on the daily, right? As you were looking at, we've got lots of divergence here. Now that could, right? So this could kick. There's nothing says, but that we have to roll over here. But there's certainly signs of maybe a little top heavy. So where are we looking for the 4? Well, here's our 38. Here's a big fat load of market acceptance. So any size buyers, where they can bury their size and hide it in there. We got a couple of low volume nodes right on either side of it. So if this is going to start to do any sort of a corrective action, right, this is where you're going to look for it, right? The big players, they can hide their size there. So that's a reasonable spot here at the 38. And then, of course, you'd have the all the way halfway back, right? Algo doesn't care about the Elliott count. It's just going to go dominant swing to dominant swing. So we've got potentially now this structure down here, and then we've got our point of control between the 50 and the 618. So I can't get the count to finish here. If somebody's got it finishing up here, finishing the 1, then we'd be looking for a deeper retracement. Working through that subdivision, I don't think we're done yet. I think we've got a 4, 5 yet to go. So that would support the idea that the next correction is a buying opportunity. And it's just a question of what does the subdivision look like here? How do we do coming down here in this kind of, are we going to get a nice, clear, clean ABC? I don't know that we count on it, right? Think how funky this was, right? Ends up being an ABC. It ends up being a double zigzag, right? So we get an ABC, X, ABC. So the complexity there is challenging. So I don't think you need to overthink it, right? So if this is going to come down here and we're going to get some sort of a retrace, right? Because we're from 58, we'll call it 5,800 to 7,700. It's just an incredible move. So with that established here, we can run a channel on this looking for some structure. Right? I already showed you the median lines that seem to be containing it. So I would leave it like this, right? Until proven otherwise. This would be the dominant one here of this degree here. Each one of these pivots, potential structure to pay attention to as we come down. This one as well. I'd mark all of these as potential support areas if we're going to start to come down at all and get some sort of area where we'd be anticipating. No question, it's still bull's ball. So let's see, do we develop a pivot up here to some of that divergence, expose perhaps some weakness up here. Damn you, fucking mowing guys are outside my window. Okay, so here's where I'm looking down here, right? All in that range here. But, going to have to wait for some sort of retracement. I certainly wouldn't be a buyer up here. How about we say it that way? All right, as we sit in here double topping here, if I go to the 4 hour, does that help us at all? Yeah, for the extremely aggressive, right? Sometimes it's tempting, right? So the idea being that we've just got a big, there's stops up here. Right, so do you have a potential bull trap? Right, so just on the other side of this, there's going to be stops. So it's always I don't love selling double tops because you've got potentially the stops here, right? So here's a saying that was taught to me long ago that's worth remembering. Buyers at highs create new highs. Pardon me. Said it backwards. Sellers at high create new highs. Buyers at lows create new lows. And the idea being that we know there's a shitload of stops sitting right there. So those stops can be the fuel that can drive this higher. So if I were going to be looking to try and get short, I'd want to take something like that. Then at least I've got the start of something where I've got a low and then a lower high, right? Because this thing is just straight rip. So rather than try and pick the turn, I'd wait for the first retrace. Then I can be very crystal clear about what my risk is. Right, so I can just do it this way and go, okay, I'm going to risk from wherever my entry is to just on the other side of that, knowing, right, that there's going to be a ton of stops up there, so you join the party. So if you get that, but remember, this, a B or a 2, it's always a push to try and go up and get that for the breakout traders. It's the failure to get there that reveals the weakness, right? And since if they can't get there, that's why you'll often see a 786, even an 887. If it can't get there, that reveals the weakness, and that's what starts the rollover, right? So that could be, that could be just what starts us here, but right at this degree, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could be just doing something like, come here. We just get this. I'm going to get it eventually here for the A wave of the B, of the A, B, C. Right, so that's the kind of thing that could be unfolding. Then we'd be rethinking. We go that deep, then we know the top is in up here, and now we're rethinking the whole thing, saying, oh, that's the 1 of the 5. Here comes the 2. Right, so you gotta just adapt to what the market is offering you. What is it revealing here right now? I mean, it's bull's ball. So if you're just itching to sell it, and there's plenty of evidence to support the idea that we're very top heavy here. That's the only way I would do it, because I can be so clear about where the risk is and where I know I'm wrong. If it's going to keep going, great, no problem. Okay, I'm still waiting for the retrace. All right, guys. Whoa, I kind of went long-winded there. I didn't mean to. Okay, so I'm trying to get something else as well. Okay, so I'll wrap there, guys, and see if I can get one more done for you.